What's good, you guys? It's your boy Big Mahari here, represent Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Hope you guys had a good new year. Hope you guys are starting out 2023 on the right foot. And let's preach positivity. Let's preach, progression and moving forward as we try to look forward to bigger and brighter things. I know I'm doing that for myself. But I want to get to the knit and grit here of this video here, you guys, because man, this whole controversy with Skip Bayless has really gotten really it's really getting a lot of inferno. I mean, it just turned into a small fire, but now it's turning into a blazing inferno right now. And it's getting crazier and crazier with each passing day. And I'll tell you this, man, this is just beyond crazy. But I wanted to get to my sentiments about what I saw early this morning. And I want to salute, LVZ for, posting the vid and showing us the clip of the beginning of Undisputed. And as we know, Skip Bayless, brought out a very bad tweet on Monday night in response to what happened to Damar Hamlin of the safety of the Buffalo Bills. He's still under critical condition at the University of Cincinnati Hospital, and I just want to give my prayers to him and his family at this time right now. Now he's still in critical condition, but they're saying that his vital beats are very active, so it gives us some hope. But the tweet that he sent was really not well thought out. Now, I did ask myself this question though about what the tweet was, and I walked around some various YouTube channels that I like, including Willie D, Trill Boxing Talk, and also LVZ2. And I wanted to really get the brunts of and the feel of the opinions of matter, and also FYS Sports Debate too. Salute to Lamont Lane and them guys, very good channel too. But I wanted to get the feel about the whole thing, and here's what I think about the whole situation. This is from only me. This is my perspective. This is just me. Now, to me, here's how I look at the tweet. I look at the tweet as not good timing, and the word selection and the way he was saying it was not well thought out. Now, what I get the gist of what he was saying was is that this meaningless game, and let me put the tweet up real quick because I just wanted to make sure I get it right. So here's the tweet again. The tweet that he said is pretty much straightforward. So let me post this up real quick because it's gonna get real crazy. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Okay. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing this game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is critical to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Now, the tweet that he sent before that one, he said, end quote, I've seen so many horrific injuries suffered on the football field. Yep, I have never seen a reaction like this. In every other situation I witnessed or covered, the game was always went on fairly quickly. The attitude was, hey, this is football for these players. This was different. And that tweet before really caught my attention because Skip Bayless didn't really weigh the options and weigh the room of the whole situation. Because I'll tell you like this: what he said, what he was pretty much saying is that the game itself is pretty much utterly meaningless, and because of the fact that the game is utterly meaningless, why should the guys that should be playing out there? But the way that it was phrased to me was not phrased out real well. And one of the weaknesses that Skip Bayless has always had throughout his entire career as a journalist is he doesn't know how to show any empathy or understand the entire room of the complexity of the situation before you actually do something. It's simple as this. He doesn't think, he just reacts to it and doesn't weigh the consequences of his decisions. And unfortunately, that's what the whole gist of it is, what I believe in. Because listen, there's been a lot more worse thing that Skip Bayless has done over the years that deserves for his termination. But I just think that right here, to me, I really understand where LVZ is coming from, and I do agree with him. I just think that what he said, what he should have said was, is that, you know, postponing this game is the most appropriate thing at this particular time. And considering the fact that this game is irrelevant, there's no reason for any of the players should be playing. Prayers to Damar Hamlin and his family. That's it. That's all he had to say. But he didn't weigh he didn't really choose his words wisely. And as a result, he got ripped to the coals for it, which he deserved. Now, I am no fan of Skip Bayless, so I enjoyed the roast session that he got. And the fact that he had to go on Undisputed by himself yesterday and had to explain himself and had to throw in a half-hearted apology really showed that Undisputed is nothing without Shannon Sharpe. And I'm going to get into the Shannon Sharpe angle at this particular time because Shannon Sharpe did not appear on Undisputed because what was speculated was is that the tweet was insensitive to the point where there was no way that Shannon Sharpe was going to sit there and go through this firestorm. And what we saw earlier this morning, it was pretty much confirmed because at the end of the day, how could you go into a show like this and go through the heat and go try to stand toe to toe with a guy that showed any lack of empathy of the whole situation? And the fact that Skip Bayless has still got the tweet up and still refuses to delete it really is it just really showed a lot of insensitivity on his part. And the way that Shannon Sharpe reacted when Skip Bayless interrupted him again when he was trying to give his words of, prayer and words of encouragement in the beginning of the show, and to see the anger coming out of Shannon Sharpe, let me tell you something. I think that Shannon Sharpe has reached his boiling point, and there's no way that he's going to let this continue on any further. We already seen a couple weeks ago how much Skip Bayless disrespected Shannon over the whole Tom Brady thing and tried to question his validity as a Hall of Famer. I'm talking about Shannon Sharpe. You know what I mean? And just looked real, real bad. It's like Skip Bayless, tries to reach so much, tries to be the smartest person in the room when he's not. You know what I'm saying? Think about this for a moment. There have been so many black athletes over the years that don't want anything to do with this guy. I'm talking about Skip Bayless. Just stemming from, LeBron James, who Skip criticizes for almost his entire career, Floyd Mayweather. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And even Tom Brady has never even spoken to Skip Bayless ever. So it's like, there's a good reason why many people don't like to associate with Skip Bayless. And now it's really putting the network in a precarious position now, because now the question is, what is the future of Undisputed is going to look like now if Shannon Sharpe decides to, you know, decline extending his contract with Fox Sports and move on with his other businesses and his podcast on YouTube. Because listen, let's be real here. If Shannon Sharpe decides to not work for any network anymore, he's gonna be fine. And I know I saw a lot of people saying that, man, he should have slapped the heck out of Skip Bayless. Let me tell you something. A lot of you guys are not in the same position that Shannon Sharpe is in. And if Shannon Sharpe wanted to, he could have. But at what cost? He would have lost a lot of things, you know, off of that decision. Skip Bayless, all he had to do was just sabotage his reputation. And then after that, he would lose his business deals. He would lose his podcast on YouTube, and people would just try to cancel him out. This cancel culture BS. So let me get some water real quick. So yeah, here's my 2 cents of the situation. The way I look at it now is that I think Shannon Sharpe is going to fulfill his obligations to Fox Sports. You know what I mean? Complete his, contract, be a professional, just finish it out. And when it's time to, renegotiate his contract, Shannon Sharpe, I think, will just simply walk out. Or he could say, I'll resign, but I don't want to be on Undisputed anymore. I'd rather work another area in Fox Sports. I'd rather be on NFL on Fox. And I could tell you this. I think if they put him on the pregame show, I guarantee you it would just be lit. So I think there's a lot of things that you could, there's a lot of areas in Fox Sports where you could put Shannon Sharpe in and he would just be a ratings bonanza. But for Skip Bayless, it, without another personality like a Shannon Sharpe, the show Undisputed will gradually decline. And what happened to Cold Pizza afterwards, too? And what happened the first segment before Stephen A. Smith came along to that show? It was becoming a laughing stock. Nobody wanted to be on that show, and it was just a ratings nightmare until Stephen A. Smith came along and saved the show. Let's just be real about that. So, but yeah, I just think that this whole situation has become stupid. And another thing too is that this leaves the NFL off the hook. And I'm gonna say that sentiment on a separate video for that. But I just think that now, I think that Shannon Sharpe should just figure out a way just to, finish out his contract and then just move on. Because at the end of the day, Skip Bayless doesn't respect him at all. And pretty much what we saw on Undisputed is a confirmation that their working relationship is pretty much over with. Any type of respect that, Shannon Sharpe had previously for him just went out the window. And unfortunately, it's only going to get worse from here on in. You might see them actually, legitimately take personal cheap shots at each other on live TV. I mean, it's going to get real, real bad. And it's going to get so bad to where the Fox Sports, executives are going to have to make a decision about this because this has become much more toxic than I think they realize. And Skip Bayless lit the fuse up 2 weeks ago when he took cheap shots at Shannon Sharpe on live TV, and then the tweet on Monday pretty much was the one that started up the blazing inferno, and now is just spreading like wildfire with nobody putting the fire out in sight. So that's just my 2 cents of the whole thing. So, but what do you guys think? Do you guys think that that Shannon Sharpe should leave? Do you think that Undisputed will ever be the same? Is it the end of that show as we know it? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And with that, I'm out. Peace.